TLO, what's... We are on Twitch. We are not live. But you can leave a like, comment, subscribe. Oh, we are live. Dang. But by the time you see this, we won't be. So just leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notification bells. Let's continue to grow the family from Chicago to the UK. We almost at 60,000 subs. Salute. 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 You know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all. If we go live and you happen to miss it, this is where we might post highlights. Why would I do that when you can just go to Twitch and rewatch the entire live and fast forward through it? But that's neither here nor there. Don't forget, we do got Patreon as well. We post Monday through Friday. Time on Our Hands, probably the best episode of Only Fools and Horses that I've ever seen so far. Don't forget, we do got merch. You get me? The link to all of that is down below in the description. It's in that link tree, man. Hit it, man. But this is Lad Bible TV, man. UK rapper Mist on prison, youth violence, and being shot. 23 minutes with Mist.
So the early years, it was good, man. It was them days where playing out was cool, you know what I mean? Acky tracky, beat the letter, you know what I mean?
He's from Birmingham? Mist from Birmingham, right? You sound real Birmingham-y.
Derby, football on the roads. I was a child with ADHD, so I had a lot of energy.
Man?
And felt like it was just finding where to put that energy was the hard thing growing up. I grew up in an area called Erdington, which is in Birmingham, right by Spaghetti Junction. And that area there is multicultural. And it was a tight neighborhood. This is what I remember. You remember the days you could leave your door open and then your neighbor come.
I don't remember those days, but I hear that you can do that in the UK, or you used to could at least.
Around that, I've just come around for some sugar, whatever it is, and they're like, yeah, and have a chat with your mum and whatnot. So the negatives, I would say, it's very easy to be small-minded and not look at the bigger picture just from coming from Birmingham. I feel like not a lot of people in Birmingham leave Birmingham. So it's not until you either travel or you have a job outside of where you live is when you start noticing these things, which is a crazy thing, man.
No, it's crazy, man. I feel like, could it be that people in their city is just in love with their city, or is it the poverty? Because Chicago, I didn't leave Chicago until I was like 25. Didn't even leave the state. Never left Chicago until I was like, was it 25? No, I'm tweaking. My mom moved to Florida, and I went to Florida. But one time, and then after that, I didn't leave again until I was 20. Basically 25. Was good, man.
And what was your family unit like then?
So it was my family unit was dope still. When I was born, I always had my grandfather in the house. Lived with my mum and lived with my brother and lived with my grandfather. So from the first day I can remember, I remember my granddad being in the house. So you know what's mad as well? I still live by very certain old morals. And a lot of my mates don't get it, but I always believe it's because the father figure around my house was my granddad. So a lot of things that I was taught, just becoming into a man or whatever it is in life, was taught from my granddad. My house as well. My mum always worked as well. Always working. She did care work, so she'd do a 9 till 9. So my friend's mum would walk me to school on certain days.
9 to 9 is tough.
Family was always into music, so dad did soca and calypso. I had uncles that did soca and calypso. My brother did. He used to play out music, so we had a big set which was in the house. So loud music and bass line was a thing that was in the family from a young age, man.
Was there anything that you sort of witnessed? Were there any situations that you remember that shaped you?
Well, you know what's crazy? Growing up, I lived on a road where you witness fights. It's normal to see straighteners. Coming from where I'm coming from, you handle your business by having a straightener and you shake your hands after it. So that was normal to see. You know, it was mad. There's a lot of come from the area as well. What's negative? Like everyone loves cars.
Bro, what is this? What type of YouTube ad is this? What is freaky game?
Early and bikes, so negative. Like everyone loves cars from early and bikes, so if you ain't got the money to obtain that, it's kind of normal in your normal nature to kind of rob cars or rob bikes and joyride. And like, we're mad as a youth, you take someone's car, not even care who's driving it or whatnot, and just drive it and joyride with the lads and whatnot. So I seen things that was so naughty, which I thought naughty. I thought I was a naughty kid, but then when you start going to them places, you start experiencing some serious stuff, some serious kids that your naughtiness is not even you know what I mean, no level to what it is.
Would you say there was gang violence as well in your area?
100%. Birmingham's a place where there's two sides, like Crips and Bloods. One's called Johnny's, one's called Burger Bars. Still up to this day. There's
I heard about them a long time ago, like 2-3 years ago. And when I was hearing about them, their stories like from the 80s. You know, it's so crazy, man. I mean, you know, they compared, like he just compared it to Crips and Bloods, but like if somebody said that about Crips and Blood and I was listening, I'd be like, oh, okay. But like to hear like another place across the world is like have the same type of setup. Like the same type of decades and decades of issues and things of that nature stuff.
Obviously younger generations have changed their names and whatnot, but it's still the same two sides probably fighting over things they don't even know.
Facts.
2011, mad year for me still. All starts with me getting a call from my brother saying my dad's passed away. Cardiac arrest. Dad did music as well, so every weekend he played the electric guitar. He'd go to a pub or whatever hall, you know what I mean, and go and play for entertainment. And he came off stage and actually passed away.
Straight off stage?
2 years before that, my mom collapsed out of stroke.
Hold on, wait. Your dad was in a performance, and then he got off stage and collapsed, like at the performance.
Stroke. So she was in like a rehabilitation place. So it was crazy. My dad passed away while my mum was still in this place. 3 months later, my mum passes away from heart problems as well. Obviously, she was ill before that, but it was just 3 months of straight tragicness.
Agonizing.
And it's mad because
Agony.
it was like it just hit me into a mode of where now I've got no more parents. No one can tell me what to do or how to do it.
Did he say how old he was at this point?
Because I felt like whoever could tell me before was gone. So from there, after I was staying at my mum's house on myself, I was 19 years old in a 3-bedroom yard, which I stayed in. I was a mummy's boy, so I never really did much. My mum cooked, she did everything. She taught me a few things in life, but I was a mum's boy, she used to do a lot for me. So I was in that 3-bedroom yard for ages, just living wouldn't say bachelor life, but just getting through. I think about 7 more months later, being 19, I didn't have a clue about mortgage, whatever bills need to get paid. My house got repossessed.
Can't pay, we'll take it away. They came.
I came back from going out, tried to get my key in the door, it wouldn't go in. Note on the door saying, your house has been repossessed. It was crazy, and you know what, before we get into 2012, that same year, in February, so 3 months before my dad passed, I had a child.
Dang, how you?
Which was my daughter, my firstborn. I was 19 years of age.
Almost left
So I
that
had my
out.
daughter, dad passed, mum passed, house repossessed. After everyone passed away, I started driving with no license.
I'm gonna be real with you. That'll send a man into depression. You got a newborn child. Your mom passes, your dad passes. You in the house, you thinking you cool, and you come home from partying, house gone, like nowhere to raise your daughter unless she was with the mom or whatever. But that's depressing.
And it was like no one could tell me anything, even down to all my brothers who I used to go and see, aunties, uncles. I'd pull up to a family union or whatever it is, and they'd be like, "Yo, you driving? You ain't passed yet." I'm like, "Don't worry, man, I'll pass soon," or whatever. Ended up getting pulled. I think first time I got 3 points, second time 3 points, or 6 points, and then 6 points again. I got 12, and I was banned. So when you was banned, but I just didn't care. I just kept buying cars, cheap little runarounds, go and get 500 quid, buy a little Golf, get me through. And it was mad. Like, I was just basically living out my car. No one ever knew. I'd say bye to the lads and just go and find a nice little parking spot to go and crank off. And then, obviously, me driving on a ban, one day, old Bills tried to pull me again.
Ran.
That day, I don't know what went through me, but I just weren't having it. Ended up getting into one of the maddest police chases. 2 helicopters. Squeezing through ballards, doing everything. Bare helicopters out, 45-minute chase. Getting away from the chase, having to get out on foot where helicopters ended up finding me in the bush. From that moment there, I went from the bush to court to prison. The judge said, nah, you're taking the piss. There's no way. We've banned you 3 times and you're still driving. So he ended up sending me to prison. This was in 2014.
It sounded like, to a certain extent, you was driving out of necessity, though. You wasn't out here just driving to have fun and kicking it. Like you said, you was living in the whip. You was trying to move that mug to a nice, you know what I'm saying, nice secluded area where you didn't get robbed. You got to move around.
So I've had about 3 years now of hardship, would you say, you know what I'm trying to say?
How long did you serve then?
I think my first sentence for what I did for driving was 14 months.
What was prison like?
Prison for me it wasn't like what it was like on the movies. I don't know, if you've never been in prison, you have a little mad outlook of what prison's going to be like, or, you know what I mean? Is it like the movies? If you drop the soap, a man going to be on to you? Well, obviously, it's not like that, bro. It's
not like that in the UK.
It's like, I wouldn't call it a summer camp because it's not a place to be, but it's just a place of people with like-minded people all stuffed into one place. So you end up meeting people, and obviously there's a negative and positive about prison as well, because
I feel like prison, like he just said, it's a bunch of like-minded people. So you could go in there and literally grow your criminality. You can go in there and listen to everybody else's mistakes. Like, dang, how you try to stay away from those mistakes. You can listen to their story, see what they do differently. You know what I'm saying? You could take up bad habits from other people. Like, if you're not focused in prison, you can come out of that mother a worse human being.
The negative side of it, you can keep going after you go to prison once. And the positive of it, you can learn that this is not the life for you.
This game is, you know what, I ain't even gonna talk bad about it. Go ahead, you two, put it on mine.
I feel like that prison sentence for me was the one that made me. Because what I did, I started writing bars. Anytime a certain tune came on the radio, a certain beat I liked, I'd start writing bars. I took up some business course, a maths course. I remember doing a resettlement, that's exactly what it's called, resettlement course. So before leaving prison, you have to do a resettlement course. First question on that was, who am I? It's a spider diagram. Who am I? Before you get to start writing, the woman goes, listen, before anyone starts writing, I'm a dad, I'm a brother, I'm a uncle. You can't write that. I want to actually know who you are. End up people.
So they was in there making you really look at yourself.
To see like, oh, I couldn't write anything.
You was nobody. That's tough.
Who am I? You know what I mean? What trade have I got? What can I actually put? I remember people like that, looking at the geezer next to me. He couldn't write nothing. Like, I didn't know actually what to do. And obviously the woman ended up saying, you know what? You can write if you were a brother or uncle or whatever it is, a sibling. And everyone started writing, but it was crazy. It was a deep one. When I went back to my cell that night, I thought, how could I not answer? Who am I?
Like half of us can't really do that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like not that we're all nobodies. Realistically, some of us may be like literally lost and have no guidance, don't know what we do in our life, but that's a heavy question. Who am I? It's a hard thing to ask.
And I think from that day on, the penny dropped. That was the question that I now had to answer, and that was the chase. That is that, who am I? And do you explain who you are by chasing a trade or living for a certain purpose? I had to start living for a purpose. I had a daughter at the time who, like, her mom was asking me for dough. I didn't know where I was going to get that dough from. Coming out of prison, I just kind of have a drive to become something or someone and have some sort of mission in life and a purpose even. It was crazy. I was writing the bars that I've written down in prison. I was in my hostel. I was in a hostel.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people move with not purposefully with no intent. That's when trouble finds you. When you moving not purposefully, and with no intent, everything has to be intentional. And you have to be thinking of something when you're moving. Or it's just aimlessly and you're going to run into bad things, man. You got to, everybody should sit down and really think, what do I want to achieve in life? Even if you got to work backwards. Boom, this is what I want to achieve. How do I get there? Let's work backwards. You know what I'm saying?
At the stage. So I was writing some bars.
Was that when you first started writing then?
Nah, because I felt like, as I said, I was always family orientated, was always in music. So I would do things, make my own tapes. You know, like when the garage crews were on the radio at that stage, the garage crew, I'd get my mom's tapes.
People
like,
just do nothing.
Whatever this set was called. And then there was a bit of a grime scene in Birmingham where you could go to and just drop some bars for some wheel-ups. So there was always a love for music. So I feel like that's why when I need it, I always feel like music's my counselling as well. I feel like when I started writing, it was just my counselling. It was for me to start writing about things that I felt like no one else has touched on. Losing my mum and dad within 3 months, carrying coffins, not actually saying goodbye to someone where someone's giving you a chance to. So much things in life lessons that I learned. That, you know what I mean? That I have to grow up as well. And I feel like that's how I do it, man. That's what's kept me sane, turning my pain into strength.
Paying your bills on time.
I feel like music is a strong catalyst for a lot of, for the musician and for their listeners. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people who be rapping, or singing, a lot of people be going through what they be going through. That's why certain rappers and certain singers, they're more popular than other ones. You get what I'm saying? Like people that really be talking about, like telling their life story. Like, I don't know if y'all know who Rod Wave is, right? He be singing, rapping, literally what everybody be feeling lately, like when they down and sad and stuff like that, man. That's why storytelling rappers will go further than any type of rapper 100% of the time. Their music will last longer, it's timeless, and it will never die. Been watching your videos on YouTube for about a year now. I finally created a Twitch account to watch more. Keep it up. Good work, man. Appreciate you, Deacon. Oh, I hope everybody read that because
Kind of gives you a purpose, you know what I mean? Not everyone gets the chance to let thousands or hundreds of thousands to hear what you've got to say or to hear your story. So I feel like it's brought me to places in life I'd never expect I'd ever visit in my life. I feel like doing shows was one thing, but when you do shows abroad or at a club, for instance, sometimes they have another artist there, or there's 3 artists on that night. That's me coming up anyway, there'd be 3 or 4 artists on. When I actually done my tour, my own personal one, first one, MIs to the T tour, and went out, started singing certain songs and hearing fans sing back what I've put my heart and my soul into, blood, sweat and tears. And
I always wondered how that like felt. Like, I feel like that's something that I will never be able to experience, of course, because I'm not a. Well, maybe I can. You know what I'm saying? I got video ideas of me going to the studio and releasing a track though, because I be reacting to music. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be one of those reaction channels that just be talking stuff and then won't try my footage and see how really hard it is. So that's what I'm going to be getting into soon.
Gone for a madness to even speak about it, sing it back to me. Actually, the penny dropped. Like, you know what? I'm actually filling out these rooms with everyone, and they've come to see me.
Did that drive you on as well?
Give me the biggest drive, because you actually can see it. There's one thing knowing you're getting 100k views or 1 million views, but seeing thousands of people in one room singing your songs back to you, it's immense.
Obviously, there was Portugal as well. What was the background?
Wait, he performed at O2, like, okay, wait, hold on. At O2 Academy in 2019? Maybe I'm not that up on who Miss really is. I didn't know he was that big. Yeah, I got to be tweaking. I got to do my research, clearly. You got to listen to some more Miss music.
It's immense.
I've heard a couple, right?
Obviously, there was Portugal as well. What was the background on that?
I remember being in an Airbnb one night. Obviously, because it's been Afro Nation, it's been a long few days.
Oh!
So everyone's crashed out, we've been partying.
Okay. God, he looks completely different than what he looks like right here. This don't even look like the same person, low key. But I know who missed this now. I know who missed this now. No, I know who missed this now. I remember listening to Miss. He don't look the same. I didn't even clock that this was the person that I'll be listening to. Now I got it.
Me and about
it's the hair, bro.
8 lads in the gaff. Just having a little chill out. I remember waking up to a lot of commotion. When I got up and looked, I seen about, say, 4 to 5 gunmen. All had balaclavas on, all had silences. This is what was crazy. It was like a movie. So I remember getting up after hearing a commotion, seeing what I seen, and instantly started running out of the Airbnb. Obviously, it was just a natural reaction, like, what the hell's going on?
Fight or flight, you took the right one.
I got jewelry in the place. There's geezers in there with guns, like, get out of here.
Yeah.
As I run out of the building, man's been shot. I remember running as fast as I can, but I remember hearing a loud bang, buff, and my leg freezing up. I mean, not moving. And then, obviously, being on the floor and whatnot, I remember a few people coming over telling me to get down on the floor and whatnot. It's a crazy experience and just not knowing what's going on. Yeah, man, I actually remember running out into the back garden, sprinting, and then, because I remember someone coming through the door in front of me and actually getting into the back garden, hearing a loud bang and my leg just stopped working and me hitting the floor. Lying on the floor, I remember everyone telling me to stay down. After about, let's say, 2 minutes of whatever's going on's happening, people in the house searching, doing everyone what they was doing, I thought me being by a swimming pool, the sound of the tap running was a swimming pool. When I've looked down to my leg, it's actually my leg.
Dang, it was bleeding like that?
I remember the sound, the way it was hitting the floor, it was like a tap. So now instantly in panic mode.
They must have hit that artery now.
Saying to the guy that's over there, with the gun, like, bro, I've been shot in my leg, it's bleeding, get me a towel. No one ain't really listening. I remember them coming back out.
Here's one thing you need to do.
That lad Bobby, y'all giving it up, my boy. Y'all should let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me hold an ad or two.
Had a bit of jewels. I didn't have as much jewels on as I had on at that time. But yeah, the last thing was to say, take your jewels off. And yeah, I ended up taking my bracelet, my chain, a couple rings.
The good thing about it is, man, they ain't take your life. That's the positive side of it, man. Hey, you get in them situations where people got piped to your face, you gotta get that up, man. Don't be that dumb, man. You might lose it. You don't even lose no street kid. It's they got a gun. What you supposed to do?
And then obviously, after they got away, I ended up going back into houses to see if anyone else had been shot. No one else has been shot. It was just me that I got shot. Legs leaking. I'm thinking, gotta get to the hospital. Got to the hospital. Got seen to. It was very long. Police was coming in there asking me what's happened. I'm saying, I don't know what's happened. I've just been on holiday. Someone's come in and robbed and shot me.
How did the police treat you?
Bit weird. Just like, till they actually knew I was from England, they didn't actually help me the way they should have been helping me. And they wouldn't, like, I remember coming out of the hospital, turning on my phone, and the phone ringing straight away. Yo, you okay? My manager from England, I'm like, why? What's going on? They're like, bro, you're all over Sky News. You've been shot in Portugal. I'm like, huh? How?
Oh, this is in Portugal.
Thinking back, the only person I told that story was a police officer, so it was only could be the police officer that had sold that story on me. So yeah, the whole statement that they got was from a police officer. And yeah, man ended up getting. I remember being in the hospital, not feeling like I was getting treated well at all, and just leaving.
Did you have any idea who?
You're also in Portugal, so
I just remember a couple of voices and a couple of accents, which is not really a big help. But what I can say is that it definitely, my life flashed before my eyes. And it was mad. I had people phoning me from everywhere, people posting it, and I remember getting back into England and no one coming to see me. And I don't care what anyone says, I believe that
they already got their clicks.
when things like this happen to you, you have some sort of trauma, some sort of fear that it could happen again.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going through something, and I just remember just not feeling...
PTSD for sure.
I wouldn't say vulnerable, but I wasn't feeling 100 myself. After the trauma started coming out, the thinking of my life flashed before my eyes, and it all happened in Portugal. Like, it all could have went there, wrong there. And I always believe it was the wrong place, wrong time, because I always believe whoever them people come through that day was definitely not for me.
No, it was for you.
And that's how
it was for you. 100%. You're in another country. It was probably out there looking like money to them. It was for you. I'm here to tell you. If somebody, whoever got you into that Airbnb, they set you up. The Airbnb, y'all got a taxi driver set you up. Somebody. That's why straight off the plane, if I ever travel abroad, I'm dressing bummy. I am a bum. Everything will be in a suitcase. I'm gonna be in a holy shirt, old sandals, nothing. Shoot.
how I got spared that day.
Did you lose focus after that?
I feel like, it kind of pushed me, you know. I feel like it was just after So High came out, which is one of my biggest singles to date. So what I believe is sometimes negative exposure and good exposure you can make it good. I would say,
yeah, for sure,
that lesson there told me never to mix business with pleasure.
All publicity is good publicity.
And obviously now I definitely don't mix business with pleasure, you know what I'm saying? If I'm there for a certain amount of time, why would I start spending more on time to be at a place? You know what I mean? What for? Yeah, don't get me wrong, you can have fun with your mates and that, but trust me, you have to be aware. one step ahead.
Yep.
Last question I'm going to ask you. How does it make you feel looking back at what you've achieved up to this point?
Makes me feel great. Because, as I said, man, going back to the start, I was asked who am I at that stage in my life and I couldn't answer it. I feel like if I was to get asked that question now, today, I could wheel off a line of things. So I feel like being able to say, who am I, is an accomplishment in itself. Just a journey. And you can look at it as you want. Like, I feel like to get to the point of me being able to tell someone who I am, it took a long journey. It took that's what I've done. It took me getting shot. So the reason why I called my album Redemption, I feel like, because I've had a bit of time off, I believe there was so much stuff that happened in life that I needed time off to get to know who really missed us. And I feel like redemption, in the name alone, explains a lot. I felt like I've had to give the ears something that you didn't know what was missing. Give it you again, and when you hear it, you'll know like, yo, this is what I've been missing. And that's redemption in itself, man. It's back.
Oh, Kizzy.
Having people say some good things that are relatable. Just knowing that you relate. You're a voice, not just for yourself. You're a voice for
other
so
people.
much people. You know what I mean? Man's
It goes
voice.
back to what I said about
Knowing
Rod
that
Wave.
my voice could save someone and give them hope. I feel like that's the main thing, man. I feel like that's the growth in itself there, man.
You know what's crazy though? Because I get like DMs and stuff. Y'all might not believe me, but I'm being dead serious. I get DMs like, bro, your videos got me through the day. Like, I'm going through some stuff. I was feeling this way, I'm feeling that way, but I watch your videos and they get me through the day. I'm like, oh man, it be hitting different. It be real deep. But anyway, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notices. I'm gone.